6 things to know before you go.
So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is expected to testify today in front of the Senate Finance Committee on his 2026 health priorities. One of the major priorities for the Trump administration under the Make America Healthy Again initiative this year will be identifying the underlying cause for chronic conditions. The hearing comes as RFK Jr. faces considerable criticism for the firing of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Suzanne Moranes. So that led to the resignation of 3 top CDC officials. Kennedy is likely to face harsh questions on the CDC shakeup.
France is set to host a coalition of the willing summit today to discuss future security plans for Ukraine. The summit will be a hybrid setting with some meetings happening in person and others happening virtually. French President Emmanuel Macron and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer are co-hosting the summit, which will focus on strengthening Ukraine's army and defense capabilities and coming up with a peace agreement with Russia. President Trump will host a call with the European leaders during the summit. Roughly 30 nations are expected to participate.
President Trump is urging the Supreme Court to step into the fray over his tariffs. In his request, he's asking the justices to overturn a lower court ruling that found his administration acted unlawfully by imposing many of his sweeping import taxes. The case once again raises fundamental questions for the court about the president's power to act unilaterally and without explicit authority from Congress. Trump's critics note that the last president to raise tariffs under similar circumstances was Richard Nixon, and Congress later parred back the president's power.
Now, here in your neighborhood, City Council has given preliminary approval to a vacant building registration program. The program would require owners to register buildings that have been vacant for 30 days or more. They would have to pay a registration fee and provide a point of contact. Vacant building owners would also have to provide a plan and a timeline to bring their property up to code or reoccupy it. A final vote on the vacant building registration program is set for next Tuesday's City Council meeting.
Well, it is that time, folks. The Old Harbor Bridge is now permanently closed. All vehicle and pedestrian access to northbound US 181 via the Old Harbor Bridge was shut down on Wednesday. Southbound access has been closed for some months. The new Highway 181 northbound exit to the North Beach area from the new Harbor Bridge is now open. The shared use path for cyclists and pedestrians along the East Causeway Boulevard frontage road is also open.
So there was no winner in last night's Powerball, which means the Powerball jackpot is now $1.7 billion. The new jackpot is the 3rd largest in both Powerball and U.S. history, and Powerball has now matched its longest stretch of drawings with no jackpot winners. The next drawing is Saturday. Your odds of winning are about 1 in 292.2 million.